certificate, Para Pro assessment, NYC DOE specific requirements, and then I will put all the links in the videos below. The application process, creating a DOE account, online application steps, required documentation, and there will be a link to that. Training and preparation, required workshops. They're very easy, but very informative. Professional development opportunities, resources for exam preparation. So there's one test that you have to take to get in, AS, and it's very easy. You will pass on the first time. Pretty sure you will. Next is career growth opportunities, pathway to becoming a teacher, salary progression, salary is good starting, additional certifications, and tuition assistance programs. Also, last, 7 tips for success, best practices. I will give you from my experience. I was never a paraprofessional. I went straight into special education, but I can show you what it's like. Common mistakes to avoid, networking opportunities, and mentorship possibilities. Probably will go into 2 videos. So, let's see. Let's start with, I'm going to do the link to, hold on, paraprofessionals. And I will put the link below. I will give it to you. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. And it's a lot going on, but it's very easy to navigate. And what we'll do is step by step. If you want, I will also go live. And that way we can go through things together. Okay? You just tell me below if you would like to join a class. I will set up a class. And if you, because it can be a little confusing if you're not used to the DOE website, but you know, it's just following the steps. If you can follow steps, go step by step, you can do this. And you can do it. And the salary is good. I'm going to tell you the salary is really good. Substitute paraprofessionals are paid at the contractual rate, let's just get into the money, of $182.12 as of January 1825 a day. Every day you get $182. Good. Now when you first start out, you're going to be, you're not going to be permanent, you'll be sub. But once you become permanent, it's the caveats, you will be paid through the summer like a teacher, and you'll have summers off. Unless you want to work extra, and D75 pays more. If you want to work over the summer, that's 2 checks. So even if you're going to school and you'd like to become a paraprofessional, or you're not in school yet, you just graduated from high school and you want to see what it's like to be, some people are long-term paraprofessionals for their whole life, and they like it because there's not as much stress as being a teacher. You have more freedom, and you know, some paras are there to just make sure the behaviors, even though behaviors can get difficult at times, or some paras help with the work, which is the goal, to help the students get their work done, to keep them on task. But if you don't know the work, while you're sitting there, you can learn, which is the good part about being, you know, you're not doing lesson plans, but you're learning, and you're learning what it's like to be a teacher. So I just think it's a good way, if you're coming out of high school, or if you're in college, to make a good living, and to see if you want to be a teacher, if this is the right fit for you, while you're doing, like, say you do liberal arts, right, and you do your core subjects. While you're in school, you can be a para, you get out at 3 o'clock, 3:20, and then, you know, you can also go to school during the day. There's opportunity for that. So let me go over this. Let's see. Let's start with, all right. So I told you what a para is, right? I'm just gonna go through the steps here, all right? When you get on the website, there's gonna be a survey, and when I put the link there, I will put all the links, so you'll see it. There's a general substitute paraprofessional interest survey, where would you like to work, you know. And they're probably going to contact you right away. This is one of those things where they're going to contact you. So you can also be a bilingual substitute paraprofessional interest survey. So if you speak another language, that's even better, right? So, but it says, be advised that submission of either of the surveys does not guarantee a nomination. Now, this is the thing. You do have to get a nomination. But once you go and put your survey in, you're usually going to get a nomination, which means a principal is going to contact you and ask if you'd like to come work for them, and they will nominate you. And then you click on it, you accept it, and that's it. Because they need paras. They need paraprofessionals. We need special ed teachers. We need teachers. We need all of these, especially in the special ed realm. There's a shortage. So legally, they have to be in the classroom. If a child's IEP says they need a paraprofessional, then they have to be there. All right? Right now, nominations are closed, and you should do the survey. So they'll let you know when nominations are open. They'll send you an email, and also you will probably get email from a principal. So, stage 1 nomination. Applications for this position are only made available to people who have been nominated by a school principal through the online application. Each school may nominate candidates for the, also for a teacher, you have to be nominated. Any role, teacher, you know, paraprofessional, substitute teacher, you have to be nominated. So it depends on the vacancies, the requirements. Do you want to work? Some of the requirements are what type of student, gender, foreign language proficiency, and lifting and toileting. Remember, I told you there could be extremes where if you work in D75, that you will work with students that have to be toileted. It means you have to help them clean themselves and things like that. But, you know, like I said, it's a good experience, but you can request, okay, I don't want toileting. So, or, you know, it depends. It depends on what they need. So if you meet the criteria, the eligibility criteria, and you're interested, then you're going to expected to provide service as a substitute paraprofessional at the school. All right. The assessment, that's stage 2. Candidates who meet the requirements listed in stage 2 will be invited to stage 1 will be invited to stage 2. If invited, you must have the following documents, and you must meet these requirements: demonstration of oral proficiency in the English language, so just speak basic English. Demonstrate proficiency in written English by responding to an assigned topic. So they don't do a lot of that. It's basically that test, the ATAS. If you can pass that, I think you have general English proficiency, right? Because you have to read and pass. Okay. Any candidate who does not demonstrate English language proficiency will not be permitted to reapply for the 2024-25 school year. All right. Stage 2, pre-processing. So that's going to be all these different forms. You have to do the DOE mandatory employment forms online, complete I-5s. They're going to fingerprint you, do a background, all of these things, right? There's going to be several workshops. One second, let me just make sure I'm going over the thing more. Okay. I told you why I think it's a great career starter. All right. Again, I want to reiterate that I think it's good because if you don't know if you want to become a teacher or a special ed teacher, I think it's a good way to find out. Also, from there, you can move your way up. I know paras that are high ranking in the Department of Education, UFT. My ex-principal was a paraprofessional, and now she's assistant principal for special ed. All right, so this is not some lowly position. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, you're a para. No, this is a $182 a day job, which is good money, okay, in New York City, and they're going to help you with your education. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I turned that off. I don't know why this is. Okay, I thought I turned it off. My ringer. So this is a great way to start your career. You don't have to stay a para. You can go from para to teacher, or you could do it for a little while if you want to. But I would say once you get in and you want to become a teacher, If you like it, you stay in, and you just, once you become a teacher, they're gonna just move you over to a teaching position. So you're already in there, and if you're really good, they're gonna might want you to stay at their school once they have an opening. And you have to make yourself known, of course. You just don't sit in the classroom and walk around sitting on your phone and being trifling, but you have to do the work, and you have to make yourself known that you are a professional. You are a paraprofessional. Don't let anyone tell you this is not a good position, because it really is. And I think it's a great way to get your feet in the door of the DOE if you don't know another way to do that. I was talking about the certifications. Okay, so there are all of these workshops that you have to do. So you have to complete the New York State, it's NYSED, New York State Education. There's a workshop on child abuse, school violence prevention, Dignity for All Students Act, autism, New York State Assessment of Teaching Assistant Skills. That is the first test that you're going to take, the ATAS, which you're going to click on it, and it's going to take you to the Pearson site where you make an account. It's like the teach account, and then you will apply there, and you will take the test right away, and you will pass the test. There's locations all over the city, and the test is, I think it's like $60 or $50. So these are the different test workshops that you will be taking, and I will put the links in below. Okay, so what I would do is I would pass that ATS test, and then create your account and pay for all of them and take all of those workshops, because they're really easy to. Once you pass all the workshops, you have that, then it's going to move you quickly on. You don't want to wait until you get in there before you have to do it. All right, so I'm giving you the quickest way I know to get your paperwork in. After that, you successfully complete the DOE supported and authorized online training program for paraprofessionals. Then there's another little para thing. They're not hard. And then use the DOE's online portal to schedule a date for the processing event. But this is all going to tell you on the link I'm going to give you, the main page. Gives you stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, stage 4 processing event, stage 6, I think. All right, candidates meet the requirements listed in stage 4. Meet the requirements listed in stage 3 will be invited to a processing event. Prior to this event, you will upload documentation confirming the fulfillment of the requirements listed. And it'll say, add your certificate. So once you pass your certificate online, you are going to download it and then to save it to your desktop, or I would create a folder, and then you will upload it onto your DOE, because it's going to ask you for your high school diploma, these types of things. Okay. You will also receive, there is handling bloodborne pathogens, and you also have to do a diabetes, I think, workshop, but I think that's later. So the handling bloodborne pathogens is on SubCentral, which is your absence management system. Then the next part is staffing. Once you get the clearance, fingerprints, and appraisal of record from the DOE's Office of Personal Investigations, you can be staffed as a substitute paraprofessional. This means you are approved to serve on a citywide basis. So they're going to ask you, once you go into SubCentral, unless somebody nominates you, where would you like to work? Because what happens is they're going to ask you Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, on which districts, District 2, District 3, District 10, whatever parts of the city. If you live in Brooklyn, you might want to work in Brooklyn. It's easier for you. If you live in Queens, you would apply for a position in Queens. That way, it'll just make it easier on you to travel to get to work, right? Unless you want to go to Manhattan. You might like being in Queens and want to travel to Manhattan. It's all up to you. So, I told you about the rate of pay again, $182.12 a day. Very good money for somebody that's, I have a student that, he was a student of mine. Oh my God, he gave me so much trouble, but I said, you and I are going to be the best of friends. But eventually, we duked it out, and now he teaches. He's a para right at the school across the street from my house. I see him on the train in the morning. We hug each other. He's going to be a gym teacher. He's going to school to be a gym teacher because he was good in basketball and sports. So these are the opportunities. This is the thing. I mean, I have a student. He was my student. And now he's a paraprofessional, and he works in another after school program or something with kids. And he's going to school to be a teacher. He's going to be successful. He's going to help kids. This is what it's all about. It's a stepping stone. It's a learning experience. So again, don't let anyone tell you it's not a good position. Some people are paras for their whole lives. They just want to be a para. They want to just sit in the classroom with the kids, support them, go with them from class to class. Because that's what you do. You go with your same one student or a couple of students, depending on which program they're in, and you go from class to class with them. You support them. Make sure they're going to lunch. Make sure they're getting to class on time, things like that. Also, the substitute paraprofessionals are represented by the United Federation of Teachers. So you are in the UFT, you're in the union, which is another plus. So this is a good New York City position, teaching position, okay? Continuation of substitute status. You have to renew it. So you only have to work 20 days as a substitute paraprofessional during the year. So if this is like a part-time job and you just want to work 20 days, or you want to work 6 months, and then other 6 months you want to travel, I don't know. You can do that. But if you're in a permanent position in a school, once you get in a permanent position, you need to be there every day, right? But while you're a substitute, you can float around a little more. But once you decide, you know what, I want to do this, and the school hires you to be permanent, you got to go every day, right? But you get off for the summers, you get paid holidays, you get paid all the paid summers off. You can't beat it. And then if you want to make more money, you just apply for the summer position. And then you're going to get 2 checks. People don't understand. The DOE is one of the best deals to me that I've ever had. And city jobs. Because you're off for the holidays, you're off for the summers, and you still get paid. I don't know. I'm always encouraging people. People are like, oh, I encourage people to be teachers. Why not? I think it's a good gig, and I like it. Then there's another link. Full-time paraprofessionals are teaching assistants. You're a teaching assistant now who provide instructional services to students under the general supervision of a certified teacher. In New York City, most paraprofessionals work in special education and early childhood education setting. Full-time paraprofessionals receive a generous benefits package including health insurance, paid leave, pension, yes, opportunities to receive tuition assistance, and paid release time for college study. Full-time employees are entitled to salary above the minimum of $29,621 if they have the appropriate college credits or related work experience. So as you start taking college credits and you've been there longer, you're going to make more money. They're going to give you tuition assistance. They're also going to let you take off in the morning. I think it's like you can take 3 classes a semester or something like that, and they will give you time off in the morning to go to school. You can't beat that. What employer's going to let you do that and come in and then work, leave half the day or whatever? It's a good deal. So to become a full-time paraprofessional for the Department of Education, you must serve at least 25 days in the role. That's easy to do, all right, to get a full-time position. All right, so these are the opportunities, and I'm just going to go back over my list to make sure. Creating a DOE online applicant required documentation and training. Okay, we did the workshops. This is kind of a quick video, but what I'll do is I will do another video with the links, showing you guys the links, all right, and the steps. I just wanted to, this is my new YouTube channel, Rise NYC Freedom, and the goal is to get you to a point of where you feel financially free and you feel some freedom in your life. I think as a teacher, I have a lot of freedom because I have the summers off, and it's a great opportunity. If you like to travel, I think it's, excellent way to expand your horizons. Also, when you become a teacher in a school, I said you can take a sabbatical for a year, take time off. So there's a lot of opportunities within the teaching realm, and people want to say, oh, it's not a good job. Yes, it is. To me, it's the best job I've ever had. I mean, I've worked in retail, my first career, management. I ran stores. I worked in banking. I worked at Chase. I worked at the Bank of New York. I've worked in construction. I worked for the state. I worked for a major developer. And to me, this is the best job so far. It's the most rewarding. It pays the best. You can make so much money doing after-school programs and things and creating programs. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in the Department of Education and for your retirement that people don't know about. So I'm glad that God blessed me. My aunt, she's also a pastor, she retired as a special ed teacher. My mother retired for the city, but in a different role. So I followed my aunt's lead. And she paid cash for her house with the money that she saved. Now she's in Georgia, she's retired, she's in her 90s, she's still active, and she has good memories. And I was like, you know what? I was kind of looked down on city workers, and but you know what? Never look at someone else and say, oh, well, you know, I'm in private, I work here, and, you know, because you don't know. Because I had a rude awakening about people making money in the Department of Education and how their pensions grow and how there's 3 forms of money: pension, TDA, and you get your Social Security benefits. So don't let anybody, don't sleep on it. It's an excellent career to have. You want to stay 25, 30 years? If that's what you want to do. Some people just want to do that. They don't like to move around. I think things are going to change, and we will be talking about that, more about AI and how you use it in the classroom, and how, you know, I think teachers need to get their skill sets up, because it's coming. It's here, actually. It's not coming, it's here. The New York State standards include ChatGPT, AI, you know, different forms of technology now. So either you're going to get with it or you're going to fight it. I don't see why people are against it, but they are, because they're afraid of it, because they think that it takes away students' creativity. But it helps students, and especially if you're have special needs and you struggle, or, you know, any student that just struggles maybe with writing or things, and how to develop things and how to create outlines. But I am going to be sharing those things with you. I'm taking an AI course now, and there's just a lot of things and tools that I would like to share with you that are going to open your eyes up. And if you can point and click, and don't say, oh, I don't know computers. Because, honey, if you don't know computers, well, then you're going to be in trouble, especially if you're still in the workforce. Anybody in 2025 that is saying, I don't know computers, then I feel sorry for you. Actually, I don't feel sorry for you. I kind of pity you, because, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, but you should know computers if you're still working. Why don't we know? You have a phone. Your phone is a computer. So if you can do things on your phone, you can do things on a laptop or a desktop if you still have to use a desktop. But come on, let's stop making excuses. The world is changing. It's moving fast, and you have to be competitive. So some of the opportunities, again, back to Paris, lead teaching assistant. The lead teacher assistant is a career ladder position that allows for more diverse use of paraprofessionals in classrooms and schools to support students' needs. It allows students to use a paraprofessional in the role of a true assistant teacher by supporting all aspects of instruction in the classroom, working with students alone or in small groups under general supervision of the classroom teacher. It's kind of like student teaching. Supporting the practice of other paraprofessionals at their school. It also may, under limited circumstances, provide absent coverage for the teacher of record. So, you might teach that day if you're a paraprofessional as assistant teacher, lead teacher assistant. It's compensated with an additional $5,000 per school year over the paraprofessional's base salary. Payment is the responsibility of the selecting school. So you're going to get an extra $5,000 for that year in your paycheck, on top of bonuses. we get bonuses now. Let me tell you, I'm going to go over the many lucrative ways that teachers and paras and substitute teachers can make money in the DOE, but that'll be another video. Hold on to your hats for that one. Because nobody wants to share these things. There's still gatekeeping, as I call it. Well, I don't know why we're gatekeeping. That's why we can't get enough teachers and people to apply for the positions, because they don't know about all the benefits. So why are we not sharing the benefits of being a teacher, a para, substitute teacher in the Department of Education? The career training, that link will also be on there. Provides tuition assistance for full-time eligible paraprofessionals. And I'm going to go through it quickly. Once you click on that link, it's going to bring you to this link, okay? And that's a whole nother, we can do a whole video on that, all right? And I can tell you about that. You get a summer stipend, eligibility, you must be registered, enrolled in classes at a participating college or university, be a full-time para, I mean, it's just, it's a training career. You have to have completion of 45 credits. The training career is limited to 120 credits to be paid on behalf of the paraprofessionals toward completing the first bachelor's degree program. So they're going to help you pay for your bachelor's degree. All right. I mean, it's such a good program. I mean, there's so many benefits. So that's another video though. And bilingual pupil services, bilingual paraprofessionals pursuing a career in bilingual education, which if you speak Spanish, French, Chinese, whatever it is, you get a BPS program. And the bilingual pupil services program prepares and trains bilingual paraprofessionals in pursuit of a training career to support and serve English language multi-language learners, ELs, MLLs, in Title I public elementary schools. The goal is to promote the linguistic and academic progress of these students whose primary language is Spanish, Chinese, or Haitian Creole by providing supporting instructional services through the assignment of our BPS teachers interns. So, that is my spiel on becoming a paraprofessional. I will break down the video more, and I thought we might take two, but I will break it down, and that's how we'll get to the other videos. And why am I doing this on my NYC Freedom? It was originally, this website is to transition teachers, which will also be part of the videos, transitioning from teachers into consultants, entrepreneurs. But for now, I just kind of wanted to start at the basics, the lowest foundation on the ladder ring for people, young men and women that need a job, have good time management skills, are not going to be on their phones, are going to be dedicated to the kids, going to come to work on time, going to show up for work every day, and get into a career where it could lead them into become a teacher, right, if they want to, or just say a paraprofessional. I mean, it depends on what your goals are. Maybe you want to be a paraprofessional because you want to do something else, and this frees you up so that you don't have to be so engaged as the teacher is. Not that I'm saying you don't have to be there, but you know, you're not making lesson plans when you get home and doing all these other things that teachers are doing, so that you can have time to, I don't know, write a book, write a screenplay. I don't know what else, you make candles. I don't know what you want to do. But whatever it is, there are people that are full-time paraprofessionals and they make a career off of it. Or even when you retire, you can do it. This is a good job for people that are retired, if you have patience. So, I would say some best practices, again, not as a paraprofessional, but watching, is once you get the position, you know, some paras will kind of become lax because they feel like they can walk out of the classroom and just leave their student there with the special ed teacher or the general ed teacher, but you cannot. By law, you need to be in the classroom with your student at all times. You need to make sure you're taking your student from class to class. Even though we want to give them more autonomy, that is the goal. But if you have a para, you're a para, and your student has a power because it's in their IEP. This is a legal binding contract, and you're responsible for being there with that student while you're in the building with them for the whole day. So, you know, let's not run in the hallway and be making calls and doing things that we know we're not supposed to be doing. Let's keep it professional, because you don't know who's watching you, and that is your job. Your job is to keep those students safe, to make sure they're getting what they need, and it's not that complicated. Some people get laxed. I say, keep it professional. Those are the mistakes I say to avoid. There's other networking opportunities, because once you get into a school, if they see you're a good parent and you want to become a teacher and you're actually teaching the kids, they're going to look at you and say, wow, she's a really good parent. Maybe I want to, you know, see what her future goals are. I find that sometimes principals aren't so engaged with like substitutes, and why are they not engaged? I don't know. I think it's a flaw of a lot of principals, because I've seen it more than once. I think it's a flaw, but I've seen principals that are engaged with their substitute teachers and their paras, which is a good thing, because it only helps for future opportunities for you and for them. If you have the same para, you know, they're subbing, but they're coming to your school all the time, you want to make them permanent, that's good for you, right? Mentorship possibilities. Like I said, with the program that you're in, you'll have mentorship possibilities. There's just so many ways, and it's very positive. It makes you feel good if you want to work with kids. And like my ex-student, he's so happy. He's like, oh, Miss Schuler, I'm gonna be a gym teacher. And I'm like, you know, that's perfect for you, right? I mean, he's gonna be doing what he loves. He loves basketball. Gonna be teaching basketball in gym. He loves working with kids now. He's gonna make good money. He's gonna be a teacher. Let me tell you, I know a gym teacher to make like $30,000 after school, just doing after school programs. No lie, no exaggeration. You can make good money in the DOE. You gotta work your show. So I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more education and career guidance. If you're serious about becoming a paraprofessional in NYC schools, download my free checklist. I'm going to put a checklist in there in the description below. Remember, education changes lives, and as a paraprofessional, you'll be making a real difference. Don't forget to like and subscribe, download the free checklist, follow for more education career guidance, and leave questions in the comments. Also, like I said, I will hold live, either live Zooms, I will do Zoom, or live Facebook, or, you know, YouTube, just depending. What is the best vehicle that you guys would like me to go live on? It'll probably definitely be YouTube and Facebook too. All right, and I could also do TikTok if you guys want that. Doesn't matter. I have all the links will be below, so follow me on all my links, especially on this channel, because all the materials will always be here for you, and then you can go back and go through them. And if you have trouble while you're going through your process, just let me know, and I can answer any questions and help you to facilitate that quickly. And who knows, I might know someone that can nominate you. I know a lot of principals. All right, so thank you for watching. You have a blessed and abundant day. See you next time. Ciao.